Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's 1 Degree, where we're trying to move the consciousness of mankind 1 degree to make the world a better place for everyone. Man, we got a good one today. My brother and I, we talked it over, and we decided the next 7 videos we are going to go over the 7 hermetic principles. We're going to dive deep into them. We're going to knock them out for the next 7 videos. And this, as I've told, that this is the foundational book. Like, if you have
Yeah,
not read this book and you want to go to a next level and understand the laws of the universe, you got to start here. This is what I recommend to anybody who's interested in spiritual science and metaphysics. And so, my brother's listened to the book. He's read the book. I've read the book several times. I'm reading it again since we're going back over it.
yeah, I started it again too.
So, bruh, my brother Reedy, I am Akashic, the Ancient of Days. This is gonna be good, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to get deep into these because, like you said, man, this is the foundation. This is everything. It explains it all better than anything I've read or
Yeah.
heard.
It's
It's
like
definitely,
it's the Bible, but in plain words.
yeah, yeah. It's just how to do it, how to live that way, and why life is the way it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or how it is the way it is.
And the correlations, some of the things that you read in the Kabbalion, and then if you are really kind of a student of the Bible, you're like, wait a minute, I kind of
Yeah,
heard that before.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of it, and I'm sure that's true with all religions.
True, true. I mean, like, I sent you a video on the Bhagavad Gita, and that's an allegorical story
Powerful.
about that's an allegorical story, except you know it's an allegorical story,
Yeah.
whereas the Bible people kind of think is real. But the Bhagavad Gita, it teaches it allegorically, just like all it's that's just how it is. But the Kabbalah, is just direct, and I love
Yeah.
that.
Yes. It explains it better than anything else. And
Yeah.
it's it's old knowledge that's what, over 5,000 years ago.
Yep. It's
It's
hermetic principles from Hermes Trismegistus, Hermes 3 times great, the
yeah.
great, great, greatest. And
Yeah.
yeah, so the first principle is 7 principles. We're going to go over each one in a separate video. Today, we are talking about the first law of the Kabbalion, which is the law of mentalism, which states that all is in the mind of the all, and all is in the all. That the universe is a mental construct, is a thought in the mind of the all. The all, you can extrapolate to whatever you want. You can call it God, the infinite source. You can call it divine father, whatever.
Hmm.
But that is the first uh law, is that all is mental. Everything in the universe is mental. Take it away.
Take it away, huh?
Take it
Want me
away.
to run? Yeah. I guess if if we're made in God's image and nothing can be taken from or added to God, the only other way he could create is with thought, with his mind, because nothing is taken from it and nothing is added to it. It's just his thoughts, which is how all of creation was created. And
Hmm.
that's how we're in his image. We also have that power of creation in our consciousness.
Absolutely. Because um everything that's not real changes. The
Mm,
only thing that's real is what doesn't change. And since there can be nothing outside existing outside of God itself, then, like you said, then everything has to be of a mental construct. And the uh if a being, one, we can't understand the all in its totality. It's just too
no,
much for our brain to even
no.
comprehend. So even us trying to put some attributes on it is, it's kind of silly, but we're still going to do it anyway.
Right.
But
Well, I mean, you got to try to explain it as best
I
you
try to
can.
explain as much as possible. But the thing about it is that because there's nothing outside of existence itself, be outside of the all. This is where we had talked about in a previous video in the Bible, where it says, God says that to Moses, that I am.
Hmm.
I am can only be the only truth because anything after I am is an attribute, and then you're negating what it's not.
Yeah.
So if God had to explain what it is, the only thing it could say is I am. And this
Yeah.
is saying the same thing is that there's nothing but the all. We're in the
Yeah.
mind of all. And that's what
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't have the vocabulary to describe. We don't even have understanding of it. You know what I mean? We have finite minds. His is infinite. We can't possess that knowledge. You know
mm-mm.
what I mean? At whatever level we're at, we can't understand it completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of our minds being finite, we want to label everything.
Yes.
We need to, we have to fit everything in the box of our perception.
Yeah.
We need a God that has to think like us. We need a God that has to feel like us. We need
Yeah.
a God that's jealous. We need a God that extracts justice. We need a
We
God that
don't.
well, yeah,
Religion does.
religion needs a God that can only forgive you by killing itself. Like it's just
Mm. Hmm. Right.
so we try to put these labels on something that's labelless.
Yeah. It's beyond comprehension. But I mean, if you want to describe it or try to make sense of it, I know it in the Kabbalion it talks about Shakespeare or Dickens and talks about their characters. Like Romeo is a creation of Shakespeare, so there's aspects of Shakespeare in it, and it's a part of Shakespeare because it was his creation in his
Yes.
mind. Yet it's also not Shakespeare. It's it's connected. It's a part of him. It is his creation, but it's not him at the same
Right.
time. And that's how we are. We are all characters in this mind of the all, God, the source, whatever. And we're all connected through him. He is in us and we are in him.
Hmm.
He is in all. Just like the Bible teaches, like Jesus said, the Father is in me and I am in you. And yeah, I am in him and the Father is in me, I am in him and I am in you, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying. I should look these scriptures up if I want to. I didn't think I was gonna mention this scripture. I didn't have any plan here.
No, me
You know what I
neither.
mean?
Hey, we just
Yeah,
talking, man.
but yeah, I mean, that's one part of the Kabbalion that I thought really helped it make sense. You know what I mean? Because, an author like Dickens or somebody or Shakespeare, they create this in their mind and they write this down. They write these amazing plays and stories. And that's definitely a part of them. That character
Hmm.
for sure is, but it's also not them in its entirety
Yes,
anyway.
and that leads to um, if you are a being that has solved every mathematical equation, has wrote every tune, has
Mm,
heard every music, has done everything. And the final question that you would have to come to is what am I?
mm,
And since there is nothing outside of the all, the only way the all could get an answer would be to go inside itself. So the only way that it would be able to know what it is and to learn what it is to experience subjective reality in every single form, in every single way. It would have to be everything at all times in order to come to the conclusion of what it is. And then when it comes to that conclusion, the only answer that it could have is I am infinite. I am
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
There's nothing but me. But it's connecting the dots through experience. And this is why, and this is somewhat controversial, is that there's nothing natural in nature that repeats. There's nothing natural in nature that repeats. Even identical twins aren't identical.
No.
So we'll talk about this in the later down the line, but this is one of the reasons why I no longer believe in reincarnation. And this is also one of the reasons why I personally don't donate blood or anything like that because the I am a unique flower. There will never be another being like me. There's no two blades of grass that have ever been the same. There's no two snowflakes that have ever been the same. The only way that DNA comes together naturally is through creation, through procreation.
Hmm.
Other than that, there's nothing in the universe. There's no 2 days that's ever alike in the 14 billion years that this universe has been in existence. There's nothing in nature, nothing repeats. So the all has to go inside of itself and experience itself in every attribute as a blade of grass, as a cloud in the sky, as as a moon of Jupiter or whatever. It has to experience itself in every single aspect to come to the conclusion, I am limitless.
Yeah. Infinite. Yeah, that's good, man. He, the source, God, the all in us. Why is it that we forget? You know what I mean? Why is it we forget? I know that the programming is a big part of it for sure, but is that on purpose,
It
you
has
think?
to be on purpose
Yeah.
because if you create
He
a
wouldn't allow
video,
it otherwise.
huh?
The all would not allow that otherwise
Right.
that wasn't.
Well, if you created a video game and you know all the cheat codes,
Yeah.
all the back doors,
Yeah.
everything about the video game, and you created it,
You can't truly experience it.
it would be boring.
And you could truly
You
experience it.
couldn't.
Yeah.
This is an experience. We are the experience that
Yeah.
God needs to
Yeah.
understand its own self. So we are playing the video game and collecting experience and going back to source and dumping this experience. Now,
Yeah.
to us, it seems linear in 14 billion years, but to the all, it's instant. That's why, like, even in the Bible, it says a day with God is like 4,000 years of man.
Yeah. And that's not
Because
even
from
close.
our finite perspective, this is taken forever. But from an absolute perspective, where nothing is changing, there's only the ever present now. This is nothing. This is
Yeah.
like, but from our perspective, and that's where like we say that reality is illusion. We don't mean that reality is not real.
Hmm.
What we're saying is your perspective on it is an illusion. And that's where, like in the Kabbalion, it says all truths are half truths. Because, like I said, I'm 6'2". I'm tall to anybody 6 feet and under. But if
Yeah.
I went into the Lakers locker room, I now become short.
Yeah.
Where does hot become cold? And where does
Yeah.
cold become hot? It's my perspective compared to your perspective.
Right.
Whereas tall become short and short become tall. Whereas light become dark and dark become light. It's all about perspective. That's the illusion. The
Yeah.
reality is real. This experience is real, but our perspective is the illusion. The all is all. The ocean is real, but some people's perspective is, man, I could die. You
Yeah.
projected
Yeah. Yeah.
fear onto that. Some people's perspective is, man, I love the ocean. I'll swim all day. Our perspective is the illusion, not that reality is an illusion. If you
Right.
drop a bowling ball on your foot, it's going to hurt.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, all matter is energy. So it is true that we feel that in the body, but it's still just energy. All of it's just vibration, right?
Yes.
It's insane. It's part of that way beyond our understanding. Even as science figures it out, we can't figure it out. We can't understand it. You know what I mean? Even as quantum physics starts to discover all this, which they have for a while now, but even as they figure it out, it doesn't they really don't understand it.
Well,
Why does
and even science has come to the conclusion that uh, we don't really touch matter. What is happening is that something that's vibrating at a different rate than you is you're pushing away from it. It's
Mhm.
not really technically matter as we conceptualize it as
Right. It's all energy. All of it's
energy.
energy. Yeah. So ultimately it's not real. I mean, it's it's energy. It's vibration. It is because we're living this, we're having this experience. And we're the prodigal son coming home when we discover who we truly are, I think, is what that story was about. Correct
Hmm.
me if I'm wrong. You probably understand it better than I do,
It
but
does. It's talking about.
yeah, yeah, it's that remembering who you are and what you can have and be, and it's having the right mindset. It's controlling your thoughts. You know what I mean? Paying attention, being aware, being present, being mindful, meditation, seeking inward. All of it teaches that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's where it's at. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's in your mind. It,
Reality is real, but your perception of good and bad is an illusion.
yeah,
That's an illusion. Whenever you are attached to something, then suffering must follow. There's just
yeah,
no way around it. The body will always seek pleasure, and the mind will always run away from pain.
yeah,
And as long as you let those two run rapid and stop being the observer and forget that you're playing the video game, then that's when the illusion starts. But in reality, this matrix is nothing but the all having experienced, and there can not be anything but the all. I am that I am, period. That's
yeah.
it.
I am.
I am.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess I mean we kind of explained what the first principle is. How does one, you know, do that? How do they use that principle? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mentioned meditation and mindfulness and being aware of your thoughts and being present. For me, that's the biggest part of it. You know, if I'm aware of what my thoughts are, I'm paying attention to what I'm thinking, I can change those thoughts.
Hmm.
I mean, I can not allow myself, which I said this a bunch. I have a negative thought, I immediately change it to a positive version of that thought.
So to answer your question, and we'll finish up with that, is that the ego always wants you to be attached to the illusion. The ego wants you to be, I am this or I am that. And the way that the ego does that is it keeps you busy. You're
Yeah,
busy becoming better. You're busy learning this. You're busy being that. Instead of stepping back and saying that I am a spiritual being experiencing this, the ego is very tricky because even spirituality can be tricked. You can be tricked into believing that you are in this matrix instead of observing this matrix. And the key to beating the ego is in stillness because the
mm,
ego wants to keep you busy. The ego wants to go from one desire to the next desire, from one thing to the next. It wants to keep you constantly pursuing for more and more and more. And the key to understanding who you really are is you have to go in stillness because anything that changes, life becomes death, day becomes night, trees grow and then they die. But when you place perspective on it, the tree is ugly, the tree is beautiful, the tree is majestic. I am Akashic, I am tall, I am this, I'm that. That's when the illusion starts. That's when the ego brings you down to its level. So you got to be, like you said, be mindful and aware. And the key to defeating the ego is in stillness. This is why Jesus always had to go off by himself and be grounded again.
yeah,
For me, I go to the beach at least once or twice a week and put my feet in the sand and just be present. Once you become present, then you can break free of the illusion. And just because something is illusion, like I said, doesn't mean that it's not real, but your perspective, you now gain a new perspective. So pain happens, suffering happens, losing your job happens, lover leaves you happens. But now you don't suffer
yeah. You don't
because
react.
you've stepped back. You The only reason you can remember is because it had to be something that is separate from you. You can only remember pleasure because you experienced a pleasurable thing. You can only remember experience pain because but when you separate and know that the internal in you is uh can never be born and can never die, and you gain that perspective, and you can only do that in stillness. So continue to meditate,
Yeah,
everyone, and that's
yeah,
very important.
yeah. We always meditate before these
Yep.
just to
Yep.
get in the right mindset.
The ego
Yeah.
is a tricky little son of a gun. It wants to keep you busy
Oh yeah,
because if it keeps
absolutely.
you
It's
busy, then you lose perspective.
your phone will go off. It's always something distracting
Squirrel.
you, trying to distract you. Yeah. Yeah, always something. And I recently uh, my wife and I sat outside on the porch and we actually went outside because we heard a cardinal. We wanted to see the cardinal and we watched this cardinal for a few minutes. And then as we were coming back, I'm like, this is a beautiful sunset. You want to sit out here and watch this sunset? We sat on a porch, just sat there in silence until like 30 cars start going by. I'm like, just trying to sit here in silence and these cars don't always come, but it's always something to distract you. It's
Yep.
always there's always something out there. We got to be mindful of what we're giving our attention to, what we're reading, what we're watching. Social media is awful.
Yeah.
Not that there isn't some good from it. I mean, this is getting on social media. There's definitely some good, but
Yeah.
it's also a distraction to keep you busy, like you said, and keep your focus off of what really matters, and that's unity and
Yep.
peace and
You're
love.
having an experience in the mind of the all.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. We're all connected.
we're gonna finish up right there. I think that was very, very informative, and hopefully people could understand. If anybody ever has any questions, man, please leave a question in the comments.
Yeah,
We definitely will
absolutely.
answer anything. We are very accessible, and yeah, I think this is a good start. We got six more hermetic principles to go, and there are some super powerful ones to come.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep digging deep, bro.
I love it. I'm
So,
excited.
all right, everybody. So the first hermetic principle is everything is in the mind of the all. Now you understand it. Now you understand why it's important. Now you understand what to do to break from the illusion. And until we see you in the next video, 1 degree.